Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today's build and play guide is on the Italian destroyer FR25. It is one of the few Italian destroyers I do like. It doesn't feel very Italian other than SAP, and I'm kind of joking about that because if you didn't know, this is a Geopard. It's a French battleship, but at tier 6. That being said, right now you can get it in the Steel Season of Steel. It is over here. You do have to get the ones previous to it if that's something you're interested in. Uh, now, I don't think you can get that one for global. You might be able to. You have to correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. Now, for our commander, we are using Fugusi. You could also use Bergami. I like Fugusi just a hair bit better to get the range. You'll see here in a second what I mean. But Bergami is just as good. So, anybody that you use for your Italian cruisers or destroyers, go for it. Eric Bay at Jersey Swirsky, along with Quick Fix, Look at Me Now, and Perceptive with Sidestep. And that's the reason we're taking the Fogusi as well, is because we have the Quick Fix up here for the reduced mobility fix. And here we don't have to take it. We can take Rather Be Torching to get an extra 2% on our HE. Um, for our fire chances. 4 upgrades, aiming system, and a prop and concealment is always in the second and third slot. Now you do have the rolling smokes, and they do come in handy, especially with this because sometimes you gotta sneak attack ships with it, right? And sneak attack because you don't have very long torps, so sometimes doing that best option that you may have available. Also, it has a French engine boost. It is a Geopard, guys. So you do have that going for you. It actually does work hand in hand with that exhaust smoke because you can really get some places quickly with it. It's a really nice little combo. Specs 19,000 health. Remember, we're built into detection because the torps are really short. And as you can see here, you have 5.5 inch guns reaching out to 11.6 kilometers with a reload of 6.6. So, not awful for a Italian cruiser. And you can see the HE that is normally not ideal on a Italian cruiser uh, or an Italian destroyer. Not too bad over here with a 1800 with a 11% fire chance. That's the big thing there. Is you got some extra fire chance. Your 180 turn time is 15 seconds, so the guns aren't bad at all for turning around. And then this thing has SAP. I would recommend using it almost all the time. You can use the HE to burn stuff down if you want, but if they have a superstructure like a battleship, you definitely want to be hitting that with the SAP and getting a bunch of damage. HE, if you want to go that route for setting fires, works too. Torpedoes, you have 6 of them. They do 15,000 damage. They have pretty decent detectability, torpedo detectability. They have very short range though. These are very short, and that's one of another reason to build into the detectability. I almost always do double detectabilities, inspirations, for the most part, unless it's got a big sonar or radar. Just the way I play. It allows you to have your friends and you get the first hit on the enemies, right? And that is, in my opinion, better than having Sims because you're going to lose that health when you get out detected generally. AA defense, it really doesn't have any. So carriers are a pain in the butt, but don't worry, we'll show some revenge on a carrier today. Maneuverability 36 knots, so not too bad. Turning circle 690 and a 4.9 rudder shift. Detectability is really good at 5.1 on this build. Stats, you can see played 9 games, done okay. Nothing to write home about, obviously. Just okay. Um, at first, I was a little not aggressive with it. Now I got last few games got more aggressive. Definitely better outcomes. Uh, as you can see here, armor. It's a destroyer. Try to not take unnecessary hits when you don't need to. Also, real quick, as you guys can see here, you can absolutely Citadel with SAP. As some of you guys might be newer, I haven't done a lot of videos on SAP on destroyers. So if you get the opportunity and they have an exposed Citadel, you can, in fact, Citadel cruisers, carriers. Not you're gonna get battleships, unfortunately, but just so you guys are aware. With that out of the way, we are on Shattered, and or on Shatter, and we're bottom tier, and that's kind of the theme with this ship, as us bottom tier in a lot of the matches. We get this really good detection, give us an advantage to get torps out before we start shooting. Also, you can see we hit him, we do a pretty solid chunk. He is smoking up. We go ahead and use our rolling smoke. Gives us a nice little advantage. We can keep moving. And he was still spotted for the team for a little bit there. I actually thought he was going to stay spotted, but he does actually get back in there. So, as you can see, one thing I will say, I do like the SAP. But on Italian destroyers, normally everything else about the destroyer is not ideal for me. Like the detectability is normally bad, or the reload's bad, and the ship is pretty solid, right? So that actually that German Z destroyer actually threw torps in a pretty decent spot. He guessed pretty well, so I'm not taking him to be an idiot. But we're gonna get our guns turned around to the other side, make sure our team can actually help us here. And he does poke out. And look, we outspot him. We keep outspotting him. And our teammates help us, right? Like, double detection. People can laugh at it. But if you use it properly, it's really effective. Now, that being said, we're going to go ahead and spot for our team. And go ahead and grab this cap. So we're going to speed it up. We're just going to go ahead help our team here. Try to take a couple pop shots. Nothing really happens. But we're going to go ahead and speed it up so you guys can see the next part here, because it's going to get a little bit interesting now. We did get, obviously, that helped get rid of that destroyer, which is huge. We outspotted him by a mile. And what we're going to do now is try to spot and be a terror. Now, you're going to see a few things. There's a couple really good lessons in this part. One is be careful, right? You're going to see me be slow down in a second here when it looks like I'm going to be pushing right into the middle of where we're spotted. We could get spotted real quick. We got stay out of Georgia spotting. We're trying to see if Helen was going to back up into our torps because they're only 6 kilometers. And you're going to see me do something I do a lot in destroyers. I did a video about this a while back about steering people into torps. So this battleship is starting to make a turn, right? We're going to take a guess at where he is, and it's going to kind of look like he's going to miss our torps. And then we're going to shoot our guns off to make him even turn harder into our torps. And I do that quite a bit. To people. If you see me shoot and you're in a battleship and you go to turn at me, you might be because I'm steering you into my torps, okay? We're gonna go ahead and shoot our guns off. And he knows obviously that we're here now, and because of that, he's gonna go ahead and eat all of them torps. Well, all of them that he needed to die anyway. That being said, we are now going to do another thing kind of intentionally, because I'm like, alright, this might be a video. We know where the destroyer is, and sadly we used our smoke already, or we know where the aircraft carrier is, right? He's hidden behind this island, where they all do. So if you know where somebody is sitting behind an island, right, you're going to do the same thing I'm about to do, except for have a smoke ready. I'm not actually going to have a smoke ready here. But you're going to see we're going to try to line it up so we don't get detected by the 2 kilometer guaranteed detection. and we're going to go at the same time, we're going to sneak around and torp. Now, the ship only has 6 torps, so you got to make sure whatever you're coming across, you're going to kill. Because if you come across a full health battleship and try to pull this maneuver, you might not be able to kill it. Cruisers, destroyers, yep. Battleships, probably not so much. But we know the carrier's sitting here. And you can see right when we get detected, we know where he's at. We get detected, it's 2 kilometers, right at that guaranteed mark, and we're just going to blast him with torps. Now, you can do the same thing, and then as soon as you see your target drop your torps, you can actually use your rolling smoke and stay unspotted while you do it a lot of times. And that's the way to do it. I'm not necessarily a big fan of that particular maneuver. You know, it can be kind of dangerous, but it is what it is. And I figure I would showcase it because being one of the first Italian destroyers we're going to have on the channel, that is something I do want to showcase. The YOLO rush, I think, is what most people call it. That being said, we want to get some revenge on the scores for radaring us. We were smart enough to stay behind the islands. We didn't really get any, obviously, any trouble, but, you know, it's a radar cruiser. We want to get rid of them. So we got rid of our, help get rid of a radar cruiser, and we depth struck a Sky Cancer, which is nice. Somebody said that in my comments, and now I'm stuck. It's stuck in my head to call him Sky Cancer now. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, the rest of this match, sadly, for the next few minutes, 6 minutes, is a destroyer going and getting a bunch of caps for points. And it's kind of prolonging the match. Obviously, he's probably not going to win this. I mean, but however, he's not giving up. So I'm not actually ripping on him or nothing like that. But it's just a long time chasing this guy down, even with the speed that we do have. And we actually do eat a torp. I didn't expect our battleship to smoke up there. We do eat a torp. And then right at the end here, I do a Daily Dumb Dave moment. We go ahead and shoot our guns off at the end of the match. And I actually thought he was going to be spotted by our battleship. It turns out it's not. And he's going to get away as we're going to go ahead and win on time and basically points at this moment here. And like I said, fun ship, actually. I'm not necessarily normally a big Italian destroyer guy, but I do like this one. As you can see, a solid match. Top of leaderboard, helping our team win the match with almost a 3,000 base game at Tier 6. You guys have a wonderful day, folks.